back in Torrevieja with all the latest news again. Of course, yeah, this is really massive problem in Spain, and we're going to tell you about it. And it's not good, it's only getting worse, and it's the squatters, of course. And we're going to tell you all about the squatters and what you need to do and what the Spanish law is. So if you watch it to the end, you'll find out what you can do about these squatters. And of course, if it's your first time to the channel, you do need to subscribe, because we do all the news over Spain. And not only that, we will tell you the best places to live and the best property prices. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, and we're going to crack on with all the news today about the squatters and what rights they've got, and it ain't good. So yeah, if you've got an holiday home in Spain, make sure you watch this, because you're going to need this information. Squatters in Spain is absolutely nightmare, and it's getting worse. And really, if you've got a property in Spain and you rent it out, or it's your second home and it's vacant most of the time in the winter months, you've got big problems, because every area you seem to go, there's just, in one road alone, you'll probably find at least one occupation of squatters. And there's not a lot you can do about it, but what you can do about it, I'm going to explain to you in this video. It's a really frightening experience, especially, you know, you've got your house here, and these people, it's called occupation in Spain, and they're actually living in your place illegal. And it's a pretty frightening experience, considering they're living in your property illegally. I'm going to tell you a little story about this lady called Pilar, who rented a property out in Spain, and she's actually getting blackmailed by the squatters, and they are demanding up to 10,000 euros to leave the property. And they want this kind of money because they said they need it for a deposit on their next home. So they're there actually living illegally now, and they're just raking up all the bills. Now, I don't know if you're aware of it, but Spain is the biggest problem in the whole of Europe with squatters. And it's all to do with a property boom, because since all these properties are getting snapped up, as you know, there's shortages of places for these people to live in. So they're not just the odd man or woman that's squatting, it's actually family that's squatting in these properties. And it's all to do, they can't afford with the rent increases because of all these holiday homes that are snapped up, and they're all left empty, all different parts of Spain. And it doesn't matter if you're in a quiet part or a busy part, they're going around every day, and you see them walking the streets, and they're putting markers on gates, and they're looking and checking out what property they know that's vacant, and they're in there before you know it. But this poor pensioner was actually renting a property out. They're saying, give us 10,000 euros and we'll exchange the keys and we'll go. And of course, the poor lady and other people that are affected, they're actually doing lots of demonstrations. Tens of thousands of people actually are demonstrating about this, wanting the government to step up and try and change the Spanish laws into squatters' rights, because at the moment it just all favours squatters. If you're a squatter, you've got more advantage than anybody else that owns the property. You can't just kick them out, and they say, you know, you shouldn't take things in your own hands. They've actually got squatter people out here, special security guards that actually you pay money and they'll go and get them out. But yeah, you shouldn't mess about with it, because you could end up inside yourself if you start getting threatening or violent towards them. They will call the police, and you're the one that get arrested. So this poor lady up in Coruna, this pensioner, yeah, she's got herself in a right old pickle now, because she's in a bigger financial situation. Not only is she getting demanded this 10,000 euros off the squatters to leave, and they're not leaving, of course they're not paying the bills. So now all the bills are racking up, electric and water and everything. So now she's in a right old state with a financial situation. Not only that, she's got the squatters to put up with as well. And how long's it going to go on for? Yeah, this Spanish pensioner is in a, like I say, in a real desperate situation. It's been going on for 5 years. She's trying to fight it and get them out. 5 long years of bills totaling up. I mean, this Moroccan person that moved in there originally started off as a tenant, and then as soon as she's moved in, immediately stopped paying her bills. So yeah, 5 years worth of bills. And this pensioner's 5 years trying to get them out. And she's saying she's never been in debt in her life, and now she's got these living squatters in her place. She's saying the courts are really slow on everything, and then they're very lenient on the actual illegal squatters. So Pillar and loads of other people that are in the same situation where their property's been taken over by squatters. They've all got together and they're coming up with demonstrations, and they just want the government to change the law in the squatters' rights, because at the moment it's all for the squatters. But that's why in Spain, all these insurance companies, they do a squatter insurance. That's how bad the situation is. So if the squatters get in your house, you can at least get some cover on it. Yeah, this big demonstration they keep coming up with, and the groups, they're just saying the government is, you know, it's theft really, it's illegal theft of their stuff and their properties. So yeah, what can you do about it, you know, if this happens to you? Well, there are a few things you can do, and you've got to be quick. Also, I'll tell you as well what the squatters' rights are, so you exactly know where you stand if it happens to you. Of course, all this squatter business all comes down to housing, and it's about having enough houses for people. That's the original problem. Really understanding the different forms of illegal occupation in Spain. It's got occupied residence, so yeah, this is what they're saying. These are the rules. The government Spanish rules, what they're saying it's all about is, and they're all listed, and they're saying for the occupied resident, the illegal occupation of a home that serves as someone's primary residence is classified as trespassing. And the other article that's listed in the Spanish rules is the vacant properties one. The occupation uninhabited by properties, if you're not living in it, and it's your second home of residence, and then there are not currently occupied, the owners, it falls under usurpación, which they call it anyway, regulated Article 245 of the Penal Code, and it applies not only to the properties owned by banks or large property owners, but it's temporarily empty. Basically what they're saying is if you're leaving your property empty for a really, really long time, that comes under that article. And so yeah, they've got all these different articles. And then of course you've got the other one, which the rule is the rental one, and the rental contracts. The old rental contracts is another one of the squatters' articles, is when they rent, and of course they're in there and that's it. They're not in there by the owner's wish. So they're in there off their own back, and they're not supposed to be there. So yeah, that's what they're saying. The rental contract, which tenants remain in the property against the owner's wishes, other than the lease that has expired or not strictly considered illegal occupation. In these cases, the old landlord must file an eviction lawsuit, and the situation can evolve into inoccupation, which it becomes difficult, of course, to determine whether the occupants as legal tenants or illegal tenants. So yeah, it's all technical stuff, isn't it, eh? So yeah, squatters is an absolute nightmare. Next one is, why is it so difficult to evict squatters when with the recent changes? Well, in the law that's aimed to simply the process for homeowners is wishing to evict squatters. However, they reckon the judicial system in Spain remains slow, and it's very slow, and this is what's causing all the problems, the bills to rank up and getting them out. Spain remains slow with all this, and the decisions are always in the favour of the property owners. I mean, these people with their second homes, you know, they might leave their homes for a long, long period of time. Of course, like the winter months normally, innit? You might give it a miss for 2 or 3 months, especially now you've got the Brexit rules, and you know, you're restricted to how many days. Of course, your property's empty, and yeah, they're out there snooping around for it. What happens is the old squatters are in there, and that's it. They change all the locks and everything. So you might be the owner of these properties, but basically they just took complete hold of the property. Literally becomes theirs. You've got no rights until you fight it in the courts. But yeah, there is a quick way of doing it if you're lucky enough. If you do get squatters in your place, you've got to be really quick, because you've got 48 hours to report it, and if you can do it that quick, that's when you can get them out. By the way, the old in Torrevieja, the old electric cars are getting bigger and bigger, as you know, and of course we've got a load of electric cars bays going in everywhere. Take a look at this. There we go, all these electric charging points going all over the place in Torrevieja. But yeah, back to this squatters' rights. So yeah, they're saying you need to act really, really quickly if you want to get them out, because they're saying time is of the essence. Yeah, so it's called the 48-hour rule. Report it to the police within that 48 hours, and then the police have got the power basically to evict them straight away. Once it passes the 48 hour deadline, and then you're in big trouble then, because what it is you've just lost all kind of authority at all. Then it comes the squatters' rights, and you'll have to go down the old road of court proceedings. So yeah, you've got to get in there really quick. The quicker you get in there and the police turn up, they can kick them out. Don't need no court order or anything, and then the squatters will be on their way. But yeah, after 48 hours you've had it, then it's going to be a long process. Say that poor woman, 5 years still fighting. I mean, when this happens, that's when you definitely need to get a solicitor in once you've passed that deadline, and then you're going to have to start going through all the steps, because the squatters know all the rules. This is what they do. They move around time from time. They get kicked out. Sometimes they're lucky and hang in there. And once they've passed the 48 hours, that's it. All the locks changed, and yeah, it's just not on, is it? They've got to do something about it. Like I say, it is really bad. People are actually selling properties with squatters in. That's how bad it is. Yeah, I can say I've got a few friends. They've got squatters in next door. We've had squatters around the back of us, just down the road. The squatters turn up, kicking them out. So sometimes they're lucky and they're in there in time, and they get kicked out because the neighbours are vigilant. But these holiday homes, and if you're not here and you've got no neighbours surrounding, these squatters are clever. They're around every day and they're snooping. So yeah, you need some good alarm system, security cameras and everything. And don't want to scare you, but it is a big problem in Spain. So yeah, that is the squatters. And as you know, we've got big changes in Spain, in Europe, with all these visas, the ETIAS and the EES. Of course, the EES got delayed again. It keeps on getting delayed, but I reckon it's going to come out just before the main TIS visa permit, which you can go anywhere in Europe, of course. I think it's around about €7. So they're going to be out very soon, after Christmas, rolling up to May, they reckon. This will all be kicking in. But yeah, England's doing one as well. Want all the EU citizens that are coming to England, they need to sort themselves out a visa. And their visa starts in April 2025. So yeah, not long now. It was about 4 months. And yeah, the old visa, you'd be needing that. And all EU citizens travelling to the UK without a visa will need this electronic travel authorisation, ETA. So yeah, and they're charging to get into England, which is €11. So yeah, good on our England, eh? Doing their bit. If everyone else is doing it, why not? So all this has got to be done before you go. This is all got to be done well before your trip. So yeah, €11, your visa to visit England if you're an EU citizen. In April, and I reckon the eligible people can start applying if you want this visa to travel to England. From March 2025, you can start applying for the visa. Saying the old requirement applies to all EU passport holders, including children as well, who do not have a visa permission to live, work or study in the UK. So yeah, they want everybody basically going now. And it's only going to be valid for 2 years, a bit like the other visa, the TIS they're doing here in Europe. And yeah, you can go backwards and forwards to England once you've got the visa, as many times as you like, but you can't stay more than 60 days, so you can make as many trips as you want. So yeah, England getting themselves on a bandwagon. So that was the latest news on the visa. What do you think? Good old England, eh? Doing our visa. And let us know about the squatters' rights. So if you've got a security camera or ring doorbell in your second home, because if you ain't, I'll start doing it. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about all this squatter business. And like I say, it is rife here in Spain. And we're off to England. So yeah, if you want to see a bit of England, we'll be travelling around and showing you bits of London and everything. So yeah, watch this space and check out my other videos just up there.